Hello guys and welcome back. Let's go over how we can bring this into game engine. Now bring this thing in Maya is easy because you can use the same way to model stuff and it's going to generate planks on top. And you can make all sorts of adjustments. Okay, but for like game engine, they don't really have that much of a modeling tool, so you have to give it something to work with already. In that case, we have to alter our digital asset a little bit more to make it work. And I reopened Houdini so that I can show you how we can get this asset in one more time. So go for File, Import, and then Houdini Digital Asset, and just load the asset in here, and install and create. Okay. So in this case, then we cannot have any input because there's no way you can make a plan inside of Unreal and make it work. So that's not working. So what we have to do now is go to Asset, and then we go to grab this asset and go to edit properties. We can go to the minimum input numbers to 0, so that way we can actually get away without having any input. Now instead of it, you can see it's all grayed out. It's because you reloaded it. It's automatically locked. You can right click on it and say allow editing of content to unlock it. Okay. Now in here, instead of using this input, then we'll have to use another node called the curve node. Let's actually do a curve here just to test. Go from 1 to 2 to there, to there, to there, there. Oh, to there. I'm having the grid snapping on, so you can see I'm snapping to the grid basically. Okay. All right. So this curve is in this curve node. I'm going to go cut that out and put it into our digital asset, and that's going to be our driving force now. Okay, if we do that, we can go back out, and in Siri it should generate something. Oh, we're not seeing the final result actually. So we're going to go there. You can see now we're seeing the final result. Okay. Oh, it's requiring that for some reason. Let's go to asset, add it, drag it to 0 and apply. Yeah, forget to do that. Accept. Okay. And then we can go to the asset and save this asset. Okay. Now, in order to make it to be able to be like edited here, you have to make it editable. Okay. So we can say this is our start curve. Okay. To make it to be editable in Unreal, and of course not all models here can be edited in Unreal. Fortunately, curve is one of them. You go to asset, edit asset properties, and then go to our asset, and we could go to the nodes, and then there is a editable node, and you just choose the start curve and accept that. Apply, accept, and then you also save the asset, right? So we have our plank generator saved. Now back here to Unreal, we can drag it in, load the asset, and drag it into the viewport. Okay, it's gonna take a little while to cook. Now you can see we have our plank imported in, and you can see now we have those dots. Those are basically the the curve. Okay, you can of course tweak things like the plank size. Okay, you can tweak the cut amount, maybe to cut more or cut less. Right, we can do like floor deleting threshold and frequency to delete some of some of the curves. Oh, am I deleting too much? Maybe I'm deleting too much. Lower that down. Okay, cool. Right, and then we can even have the plank shifting. Okay, we can have this very organic looking plank planes. It's deleting too much, so lower that down. Okay, anyway, now because we have those points, we can drag those points now to actually change it. Of course, there are going to be arrows if we don't make it straight, so have to drag it. But nonetheless, it's a great tool now that can allow us to create wooden plank or wooden floor for basically anything. Okay, and then you can even duplicate the lines here, like here, you can hold down Alt and drag it backwards. I guess that's actually in front, so drag it back also in here. so that way we can make more shapes out of it. Okay, you turn the snapping on, you should be able to get a straight line. The tilted line sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, so it's better to keep them straight. Right? Now you can see we can quickly lay out a wooden plank floor instead of Unreal now using Houdini engine. Right? Cool. Yeah, that's basically how you work this in the game engine. And if there's something more, maybe I haven't covered texture and stuff, we can maybe hook up the texture input, whatever. But I think just for modeling purposes, this is what you can do now. If you do have a material, you can assign this material to the geometry generated, which is going to be generated meshes, and this one you can assign a material here, which I don't have any, but you can try something. Right? Maybe what's that? Oh, that's the rock. Do we have like a? Let me search for like material in the starter content. We should have a bunch of material here, and maybe we can drag or find like wood material. Yeah, and drag it over. And we have this cool like wooden floor. All right, beautiful. So yeah, that's gonna be the entire tutorial series. Just get you and up and running with Houdini, and how the basic ideas from the beginning to the very end to create a Houdini asset that you can use in crashed. You can use it in either like Maya or in game engine. Now of course the entire workflow here down the way all the way to the very end could be different from time to time. Maybe you can think of like an easier way or faster way to do your stuff. Sometimes maybe you can say, okay, I don't want the variation here. Maybe I just want to add the thickness and I'm done. It's gonna be fine, right? You can reduce some of the stages just to make your calculation faster, because I think this one is actually really heavy when we're doing all these things. So you kind of wanted to skip that if you're doing that. If you wanted to get like a quick feedback, or somehow figure out a better way of doing it. Anyway, cool. So yeah, that's it for this video tutorial. Thanks for watching. See you next time.